Today's video is sponsored by Aura. This is my friend Ranger Rick. Ranger Rick has no face. Do you know why? Because his identity was stolen. He didn't know about Aura, who is our video sponsor. Aura protects you online from identity theft. It gives you password management. It gives you a VPN, fraud monitoring, and antivirus software. He didn't have anything. Chump. It's just a skeleton now with a dope hat. Aura found my identity shared on the dark web, which really sucked. Also protects me from all these data brokers collecting my information and putting it all out there. If you check out aura.com/WPS, you get 2 weeks for free. Aura.com/WPS. My wife and I both have it on our computers and our phones. Check it out today. Now on to the video. What's happening, folks? John and Paul at Warrior Poet Society, and today we're testing out comps on two different guns. We have the Shadow Systems War Poet in the MR920. Paul's got the CR920, and then also we have comped versions. And so this is the Shadow Systems comp that's proprietary for the gun, and so you can see how these guys are going. The question is hey man, are these gonna be worth it? You get a little extra length right there. You may be throwing out some extra light in low light settings. Is this a good idea or a bad idea? Is this a waste of money? Today we're going to find out, and we're going to test both of them. My hunch is I won't really need it on the MR920, but I bet I will want it on the CR920. I'm going to shoot the big gun, and we're going to give Paul a little gun for a little guy.
Yeah, but everybody sees us like standing side by side and like how much wider I am than you, and so it's weird for you to say little guy.
Are we going to shoot some guns, or are you going to screw off?
Let's go, man. Come on, I'm ready to work.
Yeah! All right, guys, we're doing the bigger girls, MR920. This one's got a threaded muzzle, and this one's got that snazzy comp, so. Now we'll do the comped one. All right, Paul, what was your impression? How did your guns do? I watched you shoot, so I already have my thoughts. You're able to see what my guns did, and
Sure.
you're able to feel what your guns did.
Right.
So right out of the gate, is the comp something that you would consider carrying?
So I would consider it. If and something I'd have to play with as far as the barrel length and carrying appendix, you know, from concealment. Something I'd have to look at, because this essentially makes this gun the same barrel length roughly as a 48, right? Yeah. So something I'd have to play with, but in terms of performance, definitely enhances performance of the gun. Without a doubt, extremely noticeable when you shoot it. The non-comp version versus the comp version, and I'm a guy who has very limited experience running comped guns. This is kind of a new thing for me, especially on a gun this small. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely think you're getting better performance with less input from the shooter, I think.
Yep, sounds good. This is the War Poet version right here. We don't currently have it in the P, and we'll get those out right away to get the War Poet one, so in case you guys want to support us, you're able to. But I'm already a believer. I like it a lot from the performance standpoint. So to see what we're talking about, go ahead and take a look at this. This is the bigger gun. This is the MR920 without the comp. You see it's hopping up some. Now, with the comp, immediately flatter. The muzzle is lifting less for sure. Now for me, CR920 is an even bigger deal because you have the same energy dispersed from a 9mm round over a smaller surface area, so it's going to be more jumpy. This comp is doing an excellent job at mitigating some muzzle rise. And the length, I'm fine with going for a 48 length. That's no harm for me. What is the question is man, this is like a 17 long.
Sure.
This is really, really long. You see right here the MR920 with the threaded barrel. It's sticking out like even farther past the threaded barrel. That's a good bit of distance. Sure. Now, granted, it is really performing well. That comp is really keeping the gun down. Comps make things better. It runs flatter with less effort.
There's a reason there's open division, right?
But yeah, but there's instructor John now immediately has a caution with comps. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Probably.
What is it?
You don't want to get lazy with your grip or your input into the gun.
Right.
By relying on a tool, because you still want to be able to pick up a gun and shoot it. And I think maybe, you know, I don't know how invested I am into that, but I do understand the caution there.
Right. I don't want this to accomplish what a good grip would do, so my good grip is either never established because I wasn't doing the right thing as a shooter, and I could afford this Band-Aid that ended up being an impediment from me actually building a proper grip. So get a comp if you don't need a comp. If you need a comp, don't get a comp because you need to spend more time building a good grip. Once you've done that, then icing on the cake, you can be like, yeah, baby. How's that sound? That had the ring of truth to me.
You felt that? You felt the truth?
I felt it in my bones. Like right as I said it, I'm like, yeah.
I came up with some good words.
Me
all right, well
saying
done.
that.
Well done.
Now guys, we don't want to just make decisions based on what helps you shoot faster and more accurate. That's a really big one. What about light emission? We took these out to the range to test out what was the muzzle flash like. If you're fighting in a low light area and you're throwing out a lot of light, all bad guy bullets focus on that flash and they can center in. Now this is more of a warfighter context, and a lot of our violent encounters in a civilian or LE context, they're never really no light. Instead, they're partial illumination. But regardless, light can attract, and so I am worried about too much light emission. First off, here you have the MR920 without a comp, and here's the MR920 with a comp. Now you'll notice there's not that big of a difference, so I expected the comp to throw out much more light, and that wasn't the case. Another question I had for low light shooting is the flash coming up from the comp going to take away my ability to see? Start with the CR920 no compensator. 3 rounds. CR920 with a comp. Now happily, it didn't happen as bad as I thought it would. I still felt pretty good to go. And again, we're not actually really fighting in complete no light. And if we did, I'd probably wear night vision where none of this bleed over happens anyway. And I don't really care. I just care about less light emission. But none of this stuff is keeping light emissions completely down.
Another consideration, guys, when you're going to a comped version of a gun, you may have to get another holster, right? I know, it's terrible. So for example, I carry a Glock 43X currently, right? This nice CR920 without the comp sits in my 43 holster, right? 43 or 43X holster, it's great, but it's closed at the bottom. So if I decide to go to the comped version of the War Poet when it comes out, I'm going to have to buy new holsters. And I know we've all got them. We all have the holster graveyard somewhere, right? We have the drawer of discarded holsters, and it happens. We upgrade equipment. Sometimes you got to upgrade your support equipment to go with it, in this case a holster. But so that's just one additional consideration. You know, you're going to have to throw a little bit of money at a different platform to carry this thing around.
Right. I have a 43X holster, but it has a completely open bottom, and so I'm able to holster this, and the comp sticks out a little bit, and as long as I haven't been shooting a massive amount, and then I go to holster, I'm like, whoa, whoa, that's spicy. It's like somebody did just a little dollop of lava down the front of your pants. You'll wish you didn't have that lava down the front of your pants. Another consideration that we didn't see, and we put a lot of rounds through these guns. We just showed you a little bit today, but we put a lot of rounds through these guns. We were shooting 115 ball, and I shot a few different brands.
Sure, I did too. I had a mixed bag. I came out here with a box full of mixed stuff. So
we were shooting some Phoenix.
Yep.
I shot a little Fiocchi, and I think I shot some Winchester. And so we saw no stoppages. It wasn't changing the functionality of the gun at all, and that's a must-have.
Hey guys, as always, final consideration is going to be cost when it comes to upgrading your equipment, right? So the difference between the non-comp version and the comp version is going to be exactly this much. All right, and you know, current state of the economy, some of us are kind of tightening the belt a little bit, and maybe it's not worth the upgrade for you. Maybe the cost, the juice isn't worth the squeeze when it comes to throwing dollars at performance. But again, going back to life-saving tools and how much you're willing to give up, you know, when you're putting money into life-saving tools, you want absolute maximum performance, and it's okay to throw a little bit of extra money at it, in my opinion. All right, but again, kind of that's a personal choice you got to make.
If I'm doing a like full work gun on a war belt, I'd do this. I would not carry this for appendix. This for the subcompact, absolutely, I want to comp on them. This is just better. I like it, and so especially of like my wife, she's going to want that. This is.
It makes it a lot more fun to shoot, I can tell you that, if nothing else.
Guys, what do you think? Jump down below in the comments. Let us know if we missed anything. Spoiler alert, we missed nothing. Ever. I've totally missed a lot of stuff.
I might have missed once or twice.
Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Train Hard, Train Smart. To make sure you hit the notifications bell so that the YouTube can go ahead and not notify you anyway. ShopWarriorPoetSociety.com. Follow us on the socials where they also ban us. Relentlessly.
Try and find us.
Everyone
hopefully
hates
you
us.
saw. Hopefully somebody saw this video.
Hey, Mom. It's just my mom. She doesn't watch these videos. She's on it by accident.
My mom watches my videos. She does. She's very proud.
But it's for me.
Can we finish this video?
I don't know how. Maybe we should just
Where
walk
are we
away.
right now?
Let's just walk away.
Let's go.
Let's walk.
All right, come out.